Ferrari just handed Lewis Hamilton the keys to their entire recovery plan. And what he does in Bahrain could either rescue their season or confirm the team is completely lost. After 3 races, no Sunday podiums, and an embarrassing 76-point gap to McLaren, the pressure at Maranello has reached boiling point. But instead of playing it safe, Ferrari have put everything, their new floor, cooling system, diffuser, and rear wing packages, in the hands of one man, Hamilton. Not Leclerc, not the sim, Lewis. This isn't just about who's faster. It's about who Ferrari trusts to tell the truth. While Leclerc is stepping aside in FP1, Hamilton will lead a high-stakes test that could decide whether this car is championship material or destined for the bin. He's not here to play politics, he's here to fix what's broken. And if this upgrade works, he becomes the architect of Ferrari's comeback. So don't even think about clicking away, because by the end of this video, you'll know not just what Ferrari changed, but why Hamilton's role in it could shift the power dynamic inside Maranello for the rest of the season. But first, we need to talk about... Let's cut the corporate noise. When Jos Verstappen hits retweet, it's not just a bored dad scrolling on his phone. It's a strategic warning shot. And what did he just amplify to the entire F1 world? Footage allegedly showing McLaren's rear wing flexing under load, something that's very much not supposed to happen under the current rules. Here's the scenario. McLaren are flying. Lando Norris leads the Drivers' Championship by a single point over Max Verstappen. The team's already 36 points ahead of Mercedes, and they're sitting on 2 Grand Prix wins plus a dominant 1-2 in China. It's been a dream start, but let's ask the real question. How are they doing it? After Suzuka, sharp-eyed fans and engineers alike noticed something in the footage of Norris being chased by teammate Oscar Piastri. A simple mouse pointer over the rear wing camera showed the slot gap moving, visibly. That's the kind of aero trickery that sparked investigations before. And now, Jos Verstappen is out here throwing gas on the fire. Let's be clear, Jos doesn't tweet memes. When he backs something like this, it means Red Bull knows something. Probably a lot. And if you think this is just fan speculation, think again. Pierre Wache, Red Bull's technical director, has already said it out loud. It is quite visible. I think McLaren are doing the mini DRS stuff still. That's not innuendo. That's an accusation from one of the smartest men in the pit lane. And the FIA, they've already been tweaking the rules. In Australia, rear wing flex capped at 0.5 millimeters. In China, tolerance cut again to 0.25 millimeters under 75 kilogram load. That's a sign the governing body isn't guessing, it's reacting. Quietly, precisely. Because flexi-wings, they're worth massive straight-line speed gains when done right, and hidden just well enough to escape static testing. Now the next shot in this tech arms race, Barcelona. That's when the new front wing directive kicks in. But everyone in the know, including Christian Horner, is watching that rear wing narrative closely. Because when the FIA drops a new TD, the pecking order shifts. And the real question becomes, who suddenly slows down? Let's also be honest about timing. McLaren was a midfield outfit 12 months ago. Now they're dominating? Yes, they've made incredible gains. Yes, they've got drivers delivering. But when teams jump this hard, this fast, everyone starts looking under the bodywork. Jos retweeting that video wasn't just a dig. It was the Verstappen camp firing a flare into the night sky, saying that keep watching, we're not done yet. Let's call it what it is. Ferrari's start to 2025 has been underwhelming at best. 3 races in, no Sunday victories, and already 76 points behind McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. That's not a slow start. That's a crisis. But now, the fight back could be beginning. And at the heart of it, Lewis Hamilton. Here's the headline. Ferrari are bringing their first proper upgrade of the season to the Bahrain Grand Prix. And guess who's been chosen to lead the on-track evaluation in FP1? Hamilton. That's not just a technical decision, it's a statement. Ferrari are saying, Lewis, tell us if this works, or if it's going in the bin. Meanwhile, Leclerc won't even be in the car. His seat will be handed to junior driver Dino Beganovic, who'll run the old spec floor for a back-to-back comparison. Classic data gathering stuff. But let's be honest, when the session's over, who do you think Ferrari will actually listen to? Sources in Italy confirm it's not just a new floor. Ferrari are also trialing new cooling components, revised diffuser geometry, and even 2 rear wing variations for different load profiles. This isn't an update, it's a partial rebuild. And the man steering the ship? A 7-time world champion. Now let's talk about the issue only we've been blunt enough to highlight. Ferrari are still haunted by the ride height problem. Since Australia, they've been running the SF25 higher than ideal, bleeding downforce and lap time, all to avoid another disqualification for skid block wear. And yet, even with a compromised car, Lewis delivered a sprint win in China. That's not luck. That's elite instinct, paired with technical insight. Sure, both he and Leclerc were disqualified on Sunday, Lewis for skid wear, Charles for being underweight. But let's not lose sight of the big picture. When Ferrari needs results, it's Hamilton who delivers. Now here's the irony. While Leclerc is off saying he's going his own way and pushing to tailor the car to his own driving style, it's Hamilton-Ferrari trust to validate the team's first major step forward. That says everything. Want more? Lewis has already said it himself. This upgrade isn't going to close the gap to McLaren, but it's a step in the right direction. Translation from Paddock speak: I'm not here to save the season in one session, but I am building the rocket. Friday might not bring pole position, but it will show us who Ferrari trusts to lead their development path. And if this new floor works, you'll know exactly whose name is stamped all over that progress. Let's not pretend Lewis Hamilton doesn't know exactly what he's doing. When he mentions a deficit on his side of the garage, he's not making a casual remark. He's sending a message to Ferrari, to the paddock, and to the fans. Something's off, and it's not just bad luck. And here's what we know. After 3 races in red, Hamilton's Ferrari story hasn't been the fairy tale the fans wanted. No podiums on Sunday, disqualified in China, outpaced by Leclerc. But don't confuse results with reality. There's a deeper game happening, and Lewis just cracked the door open. After Suzuka, Hamilton quietly dropped a bomb. There's been a bit of a deficit between both sides of the garage. Pressed in Bahrain to explain? He didn't take the bait. I can't expand on it, no. And that silence, that says more than any interview ever could. Because when a 7-time world champion hints at a performance imbalance and then refuses to clarify, you know it's political. You know there's fire behind that smoke. This isn't a rookie guessing at setups. This is Lewis Hamilton, a driver who's built title-winning cars with his feedback, saying, I feel it, and I'm not imagining it. Here's where it gets spicy. While Charles Leclerc has stuck with a consistent setup from Melbourne to Suzuka, keeping his car in a tight comfort zone, Hamilton's been the one exploring, testing, taking risks. That's what champions do. They don't coast, they search for the edge. And in Bahrain, Leclerc's not even in the car for FP1. Ferrari Jr. Dino Beganovic will handle duties on his side. Meanwhile, Hamilton's leading the charge with the team's first real upgrade, a new floor, a new chance, a new reset. If you're still wondering who Ferrari really trusts to evaluate progress, you've got your answer. Let's not forget what brought us here. Ferrari have been spooked since Australia, running their SF25 with a conservative ride height to avoid another DSQ. And guess what? It still didn't work. In China, both cars were thrown out. Lewis for skid wear, Charles for being underweight. Yet Hamilton still managed to win the sprint that weekend, in a compromised car, while being outgunned by McLaren all season long. Say what you want about the results. That's what a winner looks like under pressure. Lewis isn't promising miracles this weekend. He's not selling hype. He's offering something more dangerous: control. It's not necessarily closing the gap, but it's a step in the right direction. That's Paddock speak for, we're not there yet, but I'm building the path myself. He's not trying to catch up to McLaren in one go. He's trying to understand the machine. And when he does, he's going to weaponize it. Lewis Hamilton didn't come to Ferrari for a farewell tour. He came to disrupt, to reshape the culture, to make them uncomfortable enough to evolve. So when you hear him talk about learning from Charles and taking a different direction, don't mistake humility for surrender. He's collecting data, reading the room. And when it's time to strike, he'll do it with precision. Ferrari's been listening to his every word since he arrived. Now they're handing him the tools to lead. And if this upgrade in Bahrain works, everyone will know who made it happen. If you've made it this far, you're clearly not here for PR-filtered coverage or cozy team narratives. So here's what to do. Like this video if you think Hamilton's silence says everything. Drop a comment. Is Lewis right to call out a deficit, or should he keep it behind closed doors? Subscribe to Paddock Insider, where we don't do rehearsed interviews or sponsor safe takes. No spin, no agenda, just the raw truth behind Formula One. Paddock Insider, unfiltered, relentless, obsessed with performance.